Hey, welcome back to another video, and today we'll work in part 2 of the 2017 multiple choice paper. And remember, if this video is for you, please ensure that you're learning, and don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe as we try to prepare for it. So question 20, the simple interest on a loan of $6,000 for 3 years was $900. What was the rate of interest per annum? So if you remember, simple interest is equal to principal times rate times time, and all of that is divided by 100. So we're looking for what the rate is. So we'll be transposing the formula to make rate the subject. So it is simple interest multiplied by 100, and all of that is divided by principal times time, and that is equal to rate. So simple interest was $900 multiplied by 100, and all of that is divided by principal of $6,000 multiplied by a time of 3 years, and that is equal to rate. And this is $90,000 divided by 18,000, and that is equal to R. And 90,000 divided by 18,000 is equal to 5%, and that is equal to R. So answer 420 is C. And we are moving along. A television set cost $350 cash. When bought and hire purchase, a deposit of $35 is required, followed by 12 monthly payments of $30 each. How much is saved by paying cash? So what we're looking at is if we're doing the hire purchase, so the monthly payment is $30 at 12 months. So 30 times 12 is equal to $360. But remember, we paid a deposit. Remember, hire purchase is always effective with a deposit in place. So it is $360 plus the $35 that we paid for deposit, and we get 300, and that is equal to $395. So the total that we paid at hire purchase is $395. So the question is asking how much we saved by paying cash. So it will be $395 that we paid on installment minus the $350 that we paid on cash, and that is equal to $45. And our answer 421 is D. And we are moving along. 22. How much does a customer pay for an article marked at $50 if a sales tax of $6 is charged? So what we need to do is find the tax on the article, then add the tax amount to what the marked price of the article is, and we find the total amount that was charged. So what we're doing is 6% of $50, which is equal to $3, and therefore the total amount is equal to the $50 plus the $3 that was charged in tax, and you'll get the idea that that is $53. So answer for 22 is C. So what we do is find the tax on the article, add that amount to the marked price, and we get the total that was charged. 23. 7 times a product of two numbers A and B may be written as. So 7 times, so that is multiplication. 7 times, so right here is multiplication. The product, remember, product also deals with multiplication. So it's the product of two numbers. So let's just write down what you understand. The product of two numbers A and B. So we're looking at the product of two numbers A and B, so it is 7 times the product of two numbers A and B may be written as. So we look at what answer resembles what we know, and we'll realize that that is a 7 times the product of two numbers, which means that we're finding the product of A and B and multiplying it by 7. Question 24. If x is an integer that satisfies the inequality 4 is less than 2x and 2x is greater than or equal to 6, then, so what we're looking at, what set of integers will make this inequality correct or read the way that it should. It says 2 is less than x and x is less than or equal to 3. So we're now substituting what the number for x is in the inequality, which would be 3 as seen from A. So it is 2 times 3 to give us 6. So what you're saying is 4 is less than 6, or 6 is less than or equal to 6, and that is true. So therefore right there we can say that A is our answer, and we can look at B, C, and D and look at the starting numbers be negative, and once we put a negative number in the place of x, for example, if we use negative 2, 2 times negative 2 is negative 4, and negative 4 is definitely not greater than 4. So right there we know that indeed A is our answer, as all these negative numbers will give something similar to what we did for B, and that is definitely not true. 25. The coefficient of x in the expansion of x plus 3 x minus 1 is, so what we're doing is expanding these two equations. So it is x multiplied by x to give us x squared plus x times negative 1 to give us minus. Alright, let's remove that. So x times minus 1 to give us minus 1x, and then 3 times x to give us plus 3x, and then 3 times negative 1 to give us minus 3. So that is equal to x squared, and we're now left with plus 2x, as negative 1x plus 3x leaves us with 2x minus 3, and therefore the coefficient of x in the expansion is 2. So our answer for 25 is C. 26. 3x squared plus 2x cubed is equal to, so what we're doing is we're going to just split it apart and do the numbers first. It is 3 multiplied by 2 to give us 6, and x squared plus x cubed is equal to x raised to the 5th power. And guys, there's a law of indices multiplication, where when you multiply indices, once the base numbers are the same, you add the indices, and therefore that is how we get 2 plus 3 to give us x raised to the 5th power, and therefore answer for 26 is B. And we are moving nicely along. So guys, just remember to practice before going to that examination, and you will do well. P is equal to m cubed divided by 2 minus m, where m is equal to negative 2. So what we're doing is wherever we see m, we'll replace it with negative 2 to get the value of p. So therefore p is equal to negative 2 raised to the 3rd power, and all of that is divided by 2 minus negative 2. So therefore p is equal to negative 8, and that is divided by 2 plus 2 is 4. So therefore p is equal to negative 2, and our answer for 27 is A. So 28, if A b is equal to a over b minus 1, then 728 is, so wherever we see a, we'll replace it with 7, wherever we see b, we'll replace it with 28, and this is identity. So it will be 7 divided by 28 minus 1, and that will give us minus 0.75. and if you remember from fractions, 0.75 is the same as 3/4, so therefore it will be, as you can realize, 0.75 is nowhere in our answer, so therefore all we need to do is turn this 0.75 into a fraction and we can get our answer, which is negative 3/4, and therefore answer for 28 is A. So just continue to practice, guys. Continue to practice these simple expressions within each topic and you will do well. 29. If 5 multiplied by this bracket of 2x minus 1 is equal to 35, then x is equal to. So it is 5 bracket 2 minus 1, 2x minus 1, and what we're trying to do is solve for x. What we do is remove the 5 from the left hand side of the equation to the right hand side, and it will divide the 35. So it is 2x minus 1 is equal to 35 divided by 5, and we are left with 7. So it is 2x minus 1 equal to 7, and now we're carrying across the negative 1 from the left hand side to the right hand side, and it becomes 2x is equal to 7 plus 1. 7 plus 1 is equal to 8, and we're now left with 2x is equal to 8. X is equal to 8 divided by 2, which is also removing the 2 from the left hand side to the right hand side, and it becomes division, and it was multiplying over here. So x is equal to 4, and our answer for 29 is D. And the 30 reads, John has X marbles and Max has twice as many marbles as John. Max gives John 5 of his marbles. How many marbles does John now have? So John has X marbles and Max has twice. So therefore we're using John marbles as X and Max as twice, which is 2 times X. So it says Max give John 5 of his marbles. How many marbles does John now have? So John had X marbles and Max gave him 5. So it will be X plus 5, and therefore answer 430 is A. And as you can see in previous papers, they always ask you what is Max. How many marbles Max now have, which would be 2x minus 5, as he originally had 2x marbles and gave away 5. 31. When 8 is subtracted from a certain number and the result is multiplied by 3, the answer is 21. What is the original number? So we're just going to set up our little equation. So when 8 is subtracted from a certain number, so 8 is subtracted from a certain number and the result is multiplied by 3, so this is multiplied by 3, the answer is 21. What is the original number? So what we're going to try to do is solve for x. So therefore x minus 8 is equal to 21 divided by 3. As we brought the 3 from the left hand side to the right hand side, it was multiplying on the left, so when you come across it will divide on the right. So therefore x minus 8 is equal to 7, and x is equal to 7 plus 8, and that is 15. X is equal to 15, and therefore answer 431 is D. So all we did was solve for x, and we can check if this is correct by putting 15 in the original equation, which should be 15 minus 8 to give us 7, and 3 times 7 is indeed 21, and that is how we know that our answer is correct. 32. How many kilometers are there in 1 ton? And by theory we know that that is 1,000. 33. The volume in centimeter cube of a cube of edge 3 centimeter is, so remember, the volume of a cube is edge cube, or length times length times length. So therefore our answer would be 3 times 3 times 3, and 3 3s 9, 3 9s 27, and therefore answer 433 is C. So the volume is 27. A car travels 80 kilometers in 2.5 hours. What is its speed in kilometers per hour? So remember that speed is equal to distance divided by time, and the distance in this case is 80 kilometers and the time is 2.5 hours. So therefore it is 80 divided by 2.5, and 80 divided by 2.5 is 32, and therefore answer 434 is B, 32 kilometers per hour. And we're moving nicely along. 35 refers to the following figure, which shows a triangle resting on a square. The length of one side of the square is 5 centimeters and the height of the triangle is 4. What is the total area of the figure in centimeters square? So there are many ways to work this, but what we're going to do is break it down to the base level of what we know. We know what the formula for a triangle is, and we know what the formula for a square is in terms of area. So it will be easier for us to do it that way, so we don't go in the exam and panic. So for a triangle, area is equal to half base times height. So it is half multiplied by base multiplied by height. So therefore area is equal to half, and the base, if you're following me, so remember square all sides are equal, so that means this entire length is 5, and we're looking at what the base is of this triangle right here. So it would be 2.5, so it will be half of the 5 centimeters. So it is half multiplied by 2.5 multiplied by height of 4 centimeters, and therefore area is equal to half multiplied by the 2.5 multiplied by the 4, and that is equal to 5. So therefore the area for one of the triangle is 5 centimeters. Therefore the area for the two triangles that are listed on this diagram is 5 multiplied by 2, and that will give us 10 centimeter square. And this is 5 centimeter square, so it would be 10 centimeter square. So now looking at the area for the square, so area for the square is equal to length times length, or side times side. So that would be 5 multiplied by 5, and 5 5s 25. So therefore the total area is equal to 10 centimeters square plus 25 centimeters square, and that is equal to 35 centimeter square, and that is our answer. Therefore our answer for 35 is A, and we are moving nicely along. The area of a rectangle is 53.6 centimeters square. If the length is multiplied by 4 and the width is half, the area would then be. So we've worked this question multiple times, so you can check the links in the description below for previous year's paper that have worked these questions multiple ways, but today we'll be working it only one way, which is length times width is equal to the area of our triangle, which is 53.6. So it says the length is multiplied by 4 and the width is half, so it is width divided by 2 is equal to x, which is the new area that we're trying to find. So we can simplify this second equation by saying 2 into itself goes 1 time, 2 into 4 goes 2 times, and we're left with 2 length times width is equal to x. But remember, we know what length times width is, which is the 53.6 from the first equation. So we're substituting, so it is 2 multiplied by 53.6 equal x, and therefore x is equal to 107.2, and our answer for 36 is C. So this content to practice. You can check the 2013 paper for another practical way in which we substitute figures for the length and width to get the final answer. 37. A man leaves home at 10:15 p.m. So 22:15 is the same as 10:15 p.m. So he left home at 10:15 and reaches his destination at 4 on the following day in the same time zone. So 10:15 to 12 o'clock is 1 hour and 45 minutes, and then 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock a.m. is 4 hours, so therefore total is 5 hours and 45 minutes. And remember that 45 minutes is the same as 0.75, which is the same as 3/4, and therefore answer for 37 is B. And we're moving to 38. The distance around a lake is 8 kilometers on a map. This distance around the lake is represented by a length of 2 centimeters. The scale on the map is, so using our mnemonic, kick him down man, don't commit murder. So what you're trying to do is move the 2 centimeter to be representative of kilometers. So we're moving from centimeters to kilometers, and that means we're dividing by 100,000. So it is 2 divided by 100,000, and that will give us 0.00002, or 2 times 10 raised to negative 5, and therefore we can now do, it becomes 8 divided by 0.0002, and that will give us 400. So therefore the scale on the map is 1 to 400,000, and our answer for 38 is D. 39. The perimeter of a square is 56 centimeter. What is its area? And remember, perimeter is the addition of all 4 sides. So all we need to do is 56 divided by 4 to get what the length of each side was, and that is 14. So therefore the area would be 14 multiplied by 14 side times side, and that is 196, and therefore answer for 39 is D. So you can just know your little formulas, guys, and you will be okay. 40 refers to the following diagram not drawn to scale of a cylinder of radius 3 centimeter and height 8 centimeters. The volume of the cylinder is, so remember, the volume of a cylinder is equal to pi multiplied by r square multiplied by height. So volume is equal to pi multiplied by 3 square, which is 3 3s 9, multiplied by height of 8, and volume is equal to pi multiplied by 9 times 8 is 72. So therefore answer is volume is equal to 72 pi r pi. 72 is the same thing as that in the answer they flip it around. So therefore answer for 40 is C. So this is the end of part 2, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And once you're watching, please ensure that you're learning. Share with a friend so your friend can share with another friend, so that we can all prepare for it and do well in our exams. We'll see you in part 3.